Welcome back to part 2 of our Google tour in Northeast Markham. Last time we explored the beautiful neighborhoods of Berksey and Wismer. Today we're diving into Greensborough and Cornell, two of the newest and most exciting communities in the area. You're in for a treat because this one is even better. Let's get started. If this is your first time in the Living in the Greater Toronto Area channel and you want to know everything about living in the Greater Toronto Area, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Toronto, Ontario. My name is Antonio and my business partner is Van. We get calls every day from people just like you, so whether you are moving in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out as all of our contact information is in the description box below. We will be happy to help you make a smooth move to the Greater Toronto Area. Greensborough and Cornell are two of the most fascinating newer communities in Markham. Greensborough features unique gated neighborhoods which we'll dive into later in this video. On the other hand, Cornell stands out as a well-designed, self-sustained community with two distinctive features that set it apart from most others. We'll explore all these highlights during our Google tour in this video. If you're interested in exploring a community tour of the eastern part of Markham, feel free to click the link above, but for now, let's get started. Now let's jump into the Toronto Real Estate Board map, and as you can see, this is Markham in this region here. On the previous video, we talked about Berksey and Wismer. In this video, we are going to focus on Greensborough and Cornell, the two most easternly Markham community, and let's talk about the location. Now let's hop back into Google Map and let's start with Greensborough. And as you can see, the south border is still remain on the 16th Avenue on the south. And then we have here Markham Road that actually separate from Wismer and Greensborough, which is pretty much they are neighbors. And on the north boundary, we have Major Mackenzie Drive East. And on the east, we have 9th Line here. And that formed the perfectly square Greensborough on the most northeastern part of Markham. Trio like the Berksey, Wismer that we spoke last video, and along with Greensborough, these three always refer to the trio newest community in Markham, and along with Cornell, they are also very commonly known as the newest community in Markham, and they were built mostly after, I believe, 2010 for the past 10 to 15 years. And that's the reason why you find most newer homes usually in these communities. In this neighborhood, one of the parkway that was constructed in the early part of the development of this Greensborough was Donald Cousin Parkway. And this is a parkway that actually runs in the most easterly part from Major Mackenzie all the way down, cutting through Greensborough and Cornell and all the way to Box Grove on the south. So let me zoom out a little bit. Here is the Donald Cousin Parkway that come across here all the way from Cornell to Box Grove, Markham on the south. So this parkway was actually constructed since 2002, and I believe it was completed in 2007. So this parkway is relatively new. The speed limit is not similar to those larger highway like the 401 or 404. It's roughly around 60 km/h. I believe this highway served pretty well on the eastern side from people that wants to commute from north to south, and it's usually not that busy. I would believe it will be much more busier if in the future new community or subdivision start to build along on the east side. Then this highway could be a big major highway that serves the community traveling from north to south. So now let's start exploring the northwest corner of Greensborough, which pretty much is sharing the amenity with Wismer that we spoke last video. And on the north side, we find the mall that has the Tim Hortons in the corner with Wendy alongside, and some convenience store and a gas station in Esso. And also we have on the east side this South Asian supermarket which serve pretty much a lot of South Asian goods, spices, and produce, and you might have guessed it, there are a significant population of South Asians. Therefore, we see supermarkets that serve these goods. And since this is neighbor to Wismer, we spoke about this commercial plaza along the Markham Road, which is the major commercial area that serves both communities. But there's a Pizza Hut also on one of the plaza here. We also have a Food Basic, a grocery store that serves the community, which is very convenient. And there's an auto shop and the brick furniture store, and there are a few more fast food restaurants like the Firehouse Subs, the beer store, and LCBO and Home Depot is all on the Markham commercial area. And the major banks like CIBC, and there's a Bank of Montreal, and also on the north side we have TD Bank. So pretty much they have everything. But one of the major convenience of Greensborough is that they have a Mount Joy GO station, which is the Stouffville GO trains line, and it's located in Burr Oak between the community of Wismer and Greensborough, but it is technically in the Greensborough area. For those that want to use the Mount Joy GO station, will be very beneficial living in this area of Markham. So now on the south side of Markham Road, in this community you'll find also Markham Subaru, the dealership, and few more Japanese restaurants here at, for example, at Komeya. This is a fusion Japanese dishes, and they also offer seatings, some unique drinks as well. And also you'll find Royal Bank on the southern side. So you have all those 5 major banks along the Markham Road, which is very convenient. And there's a McDonald's also on the south side, and Cora Breakfast that serve brunch as well. And obviously we have a local grocery store in Garden Basket that we introduced when we were talking about Wismer, but this technically sitting on the corner of Greensborough. And there's a UPS store, and there's also a Dollarama store for those that want to find some inexpensive items. This is one of the busiest location in Greensborough at 16th Avenue and Markham Road. Now also Greensborough has a pretty huge community center called Mount Joy Community Center, and this has 2 full-size ice hockey rinks and also offer skating, and there is also an outdoor soccer field and also indoor. So there are a lot happening here, and here's the picture of the indoor dome soccer field, and this is the outdoor soccer field. And people do enjoy ice hockey in this community center. And here's another look at the pond. So this is the amenities that you can find on the west side of the community that share between Wismer and Greensborough. Now let's take a look at the Greensborough community once again. And as I mentioned before, Burr Oak Avenue is the main principal street that cut through all this community from all the way from Berksey, Wismer, and there are no exception to Greensborough. That is also the main principal street that go through the middle of the community. And one of the benefits of this newer urban design is that they are well planned out, and as you can see, right on the middle and the heart of Greensborough, you find the Greensborough Town Center. It's a little town hall that they usually have some events during the year for the community to gather. And let's take a look at the street view. So this is Burr Oak, and here is the Greensborough Town Center, a little green area just sitting right in the middle of the community. And one of the unique part of this area is that they have some unique townhouses that has some retailing on the ground floor, and they have some unique chiropractic, orthotics, massage, acupuncture that serve the community, and dental offices. The street also offers parking on the side just along with the Greensborough Town Center that's sitting on the middle. And here you can also find some child care option on the ground floor. And once again, you can see that this is a well-planned community with kind of a semi-circular designed, very unique street pattern. Here is another look with the 3D map, and you can see that it's really well designed in a really well-planned community just like this. So now let's take a look at the school offering in Greensborough, and we are currently 4 schools that is located inside Greensborough. And this is Mount Joy Public School that pretty much serves the west side of Greensborough, and this is a elementary school, and according to one of the popular Fraser ranking, Mount Joy Public School is rated 8.5, which is a pretty high score, and it's ranked 175 out of 3,021 public schools. And now let's take a look at the Greensborough Public School that pretty much serves the east side of the Greensborough. And Greensborough Public School score 7.5, which is currently ranking 571 out of 3,021 public schools. And here we also find on the north side of the Greensborough community, you find Sam Chapman Public School. And Sam Chapman Public School is actually a French immersion school that is offering at Greensborough, which is one of the benefits of this community, that you can find a French immersion school right at your doorstep. And finally, at the heart of the Greensborough, you find St. Julia Billiard Catholic Elementary School if you're looking for Catholic options. And as for high school, you will probably have to look into your neighbor on Westmere community at Burr Oak Secondary School that also serves the community of Greensborough. And as per Fraser ranking, Burr Oak Secondary School scored pretty high at 8.8 and is currently ranking 15 out of 689 secondary schools, which is pretty high. So as you can see, there are really a lot of school options at Greensborough, and this is one of the reasons why people love to move to Greensborough. So before we take a look at the home prices, let's take a look at some of the unique offering from Greensborough. Is the area here at the south. This is Swan Lake, and this is actually a gated community that is unique to this neighborhood. So Swan Lake Village is completed in 2010. They began the construction since 1996, and this is a unique adult lifestyle community that is gated, so they have a 24-hour security right along the Swan Lake in the southern part just north of 16th Avenue. And in the past, I have also shown you some of the drone footage of the beautiful Swan Lake. As you can see, this is a gated community, and some of the pros and cons from Tar Team Real Estate. Basically, it is a peaceful adult lifestyle community which mostly suited for retirees, and they have resort-like inspired amenities. And the cons is that it may not be suitable for younger family or individuals seeking a more urban lifestyle settings. So inside this community, you can find some mixture of bungalows, 1 or 2 story houses, and some 4-story apartment buildings, which homes and buildings are condominium units. And this unique adult lifestyle community is geared towards those that love the condo living for retiree. As you can see, this is caters to empty nesters and provide 24-hour security. So Swan Lake Village is one of the unique gated community that you can find at Greensborough. So now, before I head out to the next community in Cornell, and let's quickly touch upon what kind of grocery store you should be going to if you live in Greensborough. So basically, there are 3 options here within the community within 5-minute drive. We have all along on the west at Markham Road, which you can see there is a Food Basic here that you can do the daily Western grocery shopping. Further south, you can find another option here, which is Wentz Pound No Frills, just closer to 16th Avenue. And lastly, there is another local grocer at Garden Basket. It's almost as huge, but they offer much more variety of international food. Within Greensborough, you have 3 grocery stores that you can go to, but as you can tell, there are quite a large Asian community in Greensborough as well. So if you are looking for some Asian supermarket or grocery store, you probably have to travel further down to Highway 7 and to the west. And most people will probably choose here, which is the Foodie Mart near McCowan and Highway 7, and this could be probably within 15-minute drive. And once you arrive here, there are far more options, because right in the same intersection you find the Markview Mall, which is the largest indoor shopping center in Markham, and here you also can find Walmart. So there are far more options here if you choose to drive about 10 to 15 minutes. And if this Foodie Mart not enough for your Asian grocery shopping, and if you can add another 5 to 7 minutes, you can reach TNT here at Kennedy Road near Highway 7. Once you get here, you open up much more options. If you travel further west, you can find Whole Food And then at First Markham Place, you can find much more option for Asian grocery shopping or restaurants. Here, for example, the Fresh Way, which is a huge Asian supermarket as well within the First Markham Place. So once again, Greensborough, 3 local grocery shopping, and you can find more options once you go back to the Highway 7, and you can find much more options. So now let's hop on to Realm and let's take a look at some of the property at Greensborough. And let's start off with the detached home in the area. And currently we have 7 listings available for all the freehold detached home in Greensborough, and we have one of the lowest price listing at $1,299,000 at 70 Goldenwood Crescent, which is sitting in a lot size of 29, almost 30 by 89. And as you can see, they can go as high as $1,799,000, and the lots could be ranging from 47 by 89. Let's take a look one of the lowest price listing, and this is just under 29 lot front. So this is one of the smaller lot. And here's the entrance with a single garage, and this is how the interior looks like, which is still quite modern. And we have the stairs in the middle and all hardwood flooring, and we have a somewhat opened kitchen with some of the traditional carpentry, and there is also ceramic tile in the breakfast area. And here is the back of the home. You still get a quite decent backyard, and here is another look. So these are some of the current home with 3 bedrooms in Greensborough. And here let's take a look most expensive listing at Greensborough. And as you can see up front, you have a 2-door garage and a huge interlock and driving area at the front. Here's another look, and this is a pretty wide 49 lot front. And here is the interior, and as you can see, you have a stylish copper ceiling and also nice hardwood flooring. And this is a more up-to-date and modern kitchen, and you can see the stylish backsplash and also nice ceramic tiles with updated carpentry. And this is the breakfast area and more upscale light fixtures. In the bedroom, also very spacious, and we have an updated finished basement with a nice modern additional kitchen, which you can house another family for extra rental income. And this is the backyard with nice landscaping and also a nice barbecue setup. And here they also have added the extra touch at the back with the patio furnitures and in the roof. You can tell the seller has taken very good care of the property and added a lot of upgrades. And here's another look of the back, and this is going almost for 1.8 million. Now let's take a look at the semi-detached home in Greensborough, and we currently only have 1 listing, and this is 14 Miramar Drive, and it's currently listed for $1,168,000. And this is the exterior, which is a semi-detached home with a single door garage with a driveway at the front. And here is another look. You still get a decent front yard. And this is the door, and here is the interior with nice family room with the fireplace. And here is the dining area with huge large window that draws tons of natural light and overlooking the family room. And here's another angle that you can see the breakfast area and the kitchen. And as you can see, the kitchen is quite open with the white color theme. It looks more kind of elegant and spacious. And here's the look at the upstairs with engineered wood flooring and also the laundry in the 2nd floor for convenience. And here's the aerial view at the back where you can see the backyard, and this house is really not far away from the Swan Lake where you can see from this view over here. So these are the semi-detached home in Greensborough, which we don't have a lot to offer, but it is a still very modernized semi-detached that you can find within this price range. And now let's take a look at all the townhouses at Greensborough, and we have quite a few offering here, which Greensborough does have a lot of townhouse in the area, and it can range from $983,000 up to $1,199,000. The lot frontage can go as low as 14, almost 15 by 86, and at the highest currently somewhere in the 23 by 83. So let's take a look one of the lowest price at $983,000. This is a modern townhouse, and this is the front, very modest size interior with really updated floor, and it is still quite spacious and also quite modern. Here the kitchen, you can tell that is updated already with nice backsplash and also all ceramic tile in the kitchen area, and also houses the breakfast table. Here is another look, and as you can tell, the kitchen is quite open and still feel very spacious. And here is the bedroom, which you still can fit quite a bit. And for this type of townhouse, you do get a second level terrace at the back, and they offer the parking at the back as well with the driveway and a single door garage. The downside of this is that you don't get a backyard at the back. Now let's take a look one of the newest townhouses here at Greensborough, which is this one here at 307 Swan Park Road. And here, as you can see at the front, it is quite nice and modern. And this type of townhouse on the first floor, they usually offer a room like this that can be converted to a study room or in-law suite, where you can have access to the backyard in the ground floor without using too much stairs. And this is another look. For this home, they chose not to partition it. Once you come up from the entrance, and you will see the high ceiling living room. And here is the pass-through to the kitchen area that you don't often see, like a pantry area. And here is the open concept kitchen overlooking the other side, the family room with the dining area as well. And as you can tell, this is a very modern townhouses with a lot of upgrades and very high ceiling. And they also have a huge terrace on the second floor overlooking the backyard that is currently not finished. This is one of the examples of the townhouse between 2,000 to 2,500 square feet that you can find at Greensborough. And finally, let's talk about some of the condo apartment available in Greensborough, which is not many. And we have some near Knife Line. And these are some of the newer offering, which is a 2-bedroom between 600 to 699 square feet for $569,000, which I think is quite reasonable for something under $600,000 that you can get a 2-bedroom apartment. And this is how it looked like. And this is a low-rise building. And this is the concierge. And this is the kitchen. And you do get a kitchen island with a lot of modern touches and a nice updated backsplash and also hardwood flooring throughout. And here's the look at the living room and overlooking the balcony. And here is the bedroom with a large window with a lot of lights. And you do get a balcony that has the great view to the pond. So now let's take a look at the location of Cornell. And as you can see from the map, it is the most eastern part of Markham, which is pretty much east of Greensborough and Markham Village. Now, Cornell, it is actually bordered by this line over here, which is 9th line. And on the north and east, we have the Donald Cousin Parkway that runs through here that set up pretty much the eastern border and the northern border. And on the south, bordered by the Highway 407. And this forms the community of Cornell, which is the most eastern part of Markham. So now let's hop on to Google Maps and let's discuss about the detail of Cornell community. And let's start with Burr Oak Avenue, which this street starts on the north and actually turns south on 16th Avenue. And once it passes through, it will end on the south side when reach Highway 7. But this street is sometimes confusing because it turns to north-south in Cornell community. There are a few unique characteristics of this street once it's past 16th Avenue, and I can maybe show you with the street ground level. So here is the ground level, and the unique part is that most of the townhouse that was built here, you can see retailing on the ground floor, like here. So this is Burr Oak Avenue, and some of the store like Desjardins is an insurance company. And here we see some other store like Moosh Hair Salon. And here you see some physiotherapy and some other shops along this street, just as an example. And you can also find some parking along the side, which is pretty convenient. As we go south on the street, you can find family dentistry and some music studio and some real estate brokerages. And if we keep going further down, you will find some park along the street as well. And this is Burr Oak, just south of 16th Avenue. So you'll find some unique shops and other commercial area along the Burr Oak Avenue. And the intention of Cornell is always to become a community that is well self-sustained. And this part of street that you see residential above the commercial area is one of the unique properties here in Cornell. So now let's move on to the south part of Cornell, where you can find major amenities that serve the community. community, and that is the Cornell Community Center and Markham Stouffville Hospital here, and the newly added Cornell Bus Go Station. So let's go over one of the newer community center in Markham, which is the Cornell Community Center that I covered in multiple videos in the past as well. So this is a 129,000 square foot center and was designed to meet the LEED Silver certification, which basically means it is the new certified green building with a lot of solar power energy on top of the roof. And this community was just completed in 2012. It's about roughly around 12 years old, which is still relatively new. Let's take a look at the facility that also include the full-size competitive swimming pool and a more shallower pool on the other side. And we have a full-size gym, a basketball court, also a huge library and some facility for the elders and rehabs, and also a playground. So it is a huge community center around the community to serve Cornell. And now let's look back at the map again and let's talk about the Markham Stouffville Hospital. And this hospital pretty much serves most of the eastern part of Markham, including Stouffville on the north. And not many community has a hospital. So Markham Stouffville Hospital, which is located at 381 Church Street, offers diagnostic and emergency services and clinical program in childbirth and children's health, surgery and cancer care and mental health. So this is a huge hospital that is located right in the southwest corner of Cornell. Now let's look at the Cornell Bus Go Station, which is a newly added bus terminal that pretty much serves the eastern part of Markham and also Durham region. If you are interested, you can go to the yrt.ca to take a look at the bus routes that cover pretty much all the major principal street in eastern part of Markham, and also it extends to Durham. And here's a map located just behind the Markham Stouffville Hospital in the corner of 9th Line and Highway 7, and also effective as of October 1st of 22, which Go Bus Route 52 extend to Oshawa and also Oakville. For those that doesn't drive, you can still rely on the Go Bus system here at Cornell. Now let's hop back onto the Google map. There are two main benefits in the community of Cornell, where I introduced the business strip along the Borough, where we see many of these mixed-use property where you can find retailing on the ground floor and residence on the top. These are the unique business strip that you can find at Borough, similar to that in Cathedral Town, retailing on the ground floor, and also find some townhouses on the second floor, like so. There is another unique benefit of the home that were already approved for building coach houses on an existing garage at the back, meaning that you can have an in-law suite or a second additional rental unit on the same house. So let me give you an example, and let's drop a pin and let's look at it from the ground level. Most of the home here at Cornell, you can find some rear lane at the back that usually houses the car garage. So they don't have the garage at the front, but rather on the rear lane like this. Here, this is one of the rear lane. This is actually the main house at the front, and this is the rear lane. This is the garage of this house. So this as a whole is a unit, and the garage at the back over here. However, they have built additional top portion here. This is an additional rental unit. Most of the time you can find a kitchen inside with a bathroom and the entrance like so from here, so you can rent it out as a rental income. And Cornell is actually one of the market community that allow you to build coach houses at the back. And here is another example, just side by side. This is another unit, and some of them that did not build look something like this, but they do have an option that you can build on top for additional unit. These are some of the unique features that you can find in Cornell. And here is another example, a coach house just right behind. This one here is the principal house, and this is the additional coach house that you can build at the back and on top of your garage. Lately, the newest subdivision is at Grand Cornell Park, and here on the south side of Cornell, which is this part just south of Highway 7, and this is a subdivision referred to Grand Cornell that you can also find a lot of coach houses built on top. Let's us take a look at the ground level. At Foxton, you can see the main entrance is in the front right here, but the garage is located at the rear lane. We can see more coach houses here that was built on top of the garage. This is the coach house, and this is the actual principal home. So this lot is actually quite deep, so you can house the coach house at the back. Here you can see also example home that didn't have the coach house built on top that looked like so, and some like here you have another coach house that was built here, and here another one. So I found it pretty interesting that you can find some mortgage helper by building some coach houses at the back for additional rental income. Now let's quickly take a look at all the parks that are available in Cornell, the newer subdivision here at Grand Cornell Park. Let's take a look with the 3D look. Here you can see that this is a huge green space that is sitting just south of Highway 7. Most residents here will be going here for their park, and this is a soccer field. On the right hand side, this is a newer subdivision that will be building much more residents, and right now it is already broken ground, and you can see some of the street that is already starting to establish. So this is the newest community that you can find from Cornell. They also have some additional just north of Highway 7. These are the community that has yet to finalize, and these are the newest subdivision along the east side just west of Donald Cousin Parkway. And on the north for parks and playground, you have Cornell Rouge Woods Park, and also on the top at Black Walnut Park. And here is another playground in this area. Now let's take a look at some of the schools that are offered in Cornell. And let's start off from the north, which we have a Little Rouge Public School that offer pre-kindergarten up to middle school and elementary, and also cover part of the South Cornell. That's one of the public school. And the second one here we have Cornell Public School, which cover most of the west side of Cornell. And on the east we have Black Walnut Public School. Also there is a Catholic school, St. Joseph Catholic Elementary School, that covered this area, which is mostly in Cornell. And finally, for the secondary school, we have a newly added Bill Hogarth Secondary School that covered the entire area of Cornell. And Bill Hogarth Secondary School is ranked pretty high. They have a score of 8.7, and they are currently ranking 19 out of 689 secondary schools. So now let's take a look at some of the property here at Cornell, and we are looking at the freehold single detached homes offering here at Cornell. Currently we have 15 active listings, and we have ranges from low $1 million up to almost $2 million at the highest. Here I also added the lot frontage and lot depth, so you can compare the lot sizes. We have as low as 26 by 106, the smaller lot, which is quite attractive in this newer community, where you can find some smaller lot single detached home that is listing at near 1 million. And of course we have a larger lot like 36 or some at 60, which obviously at a higher price. So let's quickly take a look how it looks like. This is a 26 lot, which is one of the narrowest, but price is much more attractive. And like most of the home in Cornell, they don't have the garage at the front, and this is how the kitchen look like, some standard kitchen, and it is still quite spacious. And the bedroom also at a very modest size. And here is the back, where it features the 2-car garage with the additional parking space here at the rear lane. And this is one of the most affordable single detached home you can find in newer community like the Cornell. And now let's take a look at the semi-detached home. In Cornell you can find quite a bit of active listing, quite surprising. And Gaslamp is one of the unit I believe that is near the business strip, and this is how it looked like. And it looks quite decent for a semi-detached home. And here's the front entrance, and you can see this is quite modern with all updated hardwood flooring and pot lights, and the space is quite modest as well. And here's another look towards the front, which look quite spacious. And this is the kitchen with standard cabinet and also nice backsplash with some standard appliances. And the rooms also are quite modest in size. There is a fully finished basement, which is quite spacious as well. And this is the backyard with patio furnitures. And here's the separate car garage at the back. And again, single garage is on the rear lane. And this is how it look at the back. And for a price for $868,000 for a 4-bed bed semi-detached home is quite attractive in the newer community like in Cornell. And lastly, let's take a look at some of the townhouses in Cornell. As you can see, they have the most active listing at 22, and they have quite a few options here, and ranging from 899,000 all the way to almost 1.5 million. And the lot frontage is usually between 14 by 82 as high as 29, and Cornell really does offer a lot of variety for many lower price options. Let's take a look at this 99 Walker as an example. A lot size of 18.5 by 108, and this is the exterior. Unfortunately, this listing doesn't have any pictures, so maybe we can take a look at some of the higher end townhouses which look quite modern. And this is a 4+1 bed, 4 bath, and 4 total parking spaces between 2,000 and 2,500 square feet. Let's take a look at inside, and here at the rear lane you can find the double door 2-car garage, and this is a foyer, the entrance, and we have a pretty decent living room with lots of windows, and this seems like a corner lot with much more windows and therefore more lights. And here we have an open kitchen with updated and modern carpentry, and also updated hardwood floors, and all pot lights throughout with a lot of windows. And here we can see a very decent size updated and modern washroom. And here top floor terrace, which they have upgraded the floor already. And obviously here you can house the barbecue during the summertime. And these are some of the example of townhouses that offers in Cornell, which is very new and modern. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth Google Map tour of Greensborough and Cornell, located in the easternmost part of Markham. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you're considering a move to the area or need assistance selling your property for any reason, feel free to book a call with me. I love to chat and answer any questions you have. Have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.